line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Oh.
Are you guys ready to get down to business? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to PTM Racing TV, and now live here tonight. We are looking upon down as the BackFire Sim Racing League has returned to PTM Racing TV, and this showcase is of the brightest and the youngest stars and the toughest of veterans to come back and place fourth in this once unalterated and powerful racing league. They have come back and they have returned here on PTM Racing TV, and it is certainly an honor and pleasure to call them back here on the track. Hi again, everyone. I am the Crusader Christian Shriver, welcoming you here live tonight as we present to you the clash of BackFire Sim Racing to start off their season, to start off their campaign for what will look to be a strong runoff and a strong season ahead. Even though I may have gone a little bit early on my qualifying time here to pull up the stream here, it's alright in the end of the day. So as right now, currently we're looked on down our track here, looking on a few of our guys. Eddie Morris, the number 9, currently the one out on the track here. We saw a minute ago of Benny Julianus. Right now, currently moving internally in the top 20. And again, I am learning some of the last names here and some of the names as well, so be aware that I probably will mess up eventually here. I've done it before, and I'll say it again. There's one thing I'm always good at, and everyone can always put a bet on and place a couple beers on before, is I'm going to mess someone's last name up. So expect it. It's going to happen. Daxton Stokes here, the number 63, getting his lap time qualifying in at the moment here, trying to push up his limits and push everything he's got. And again, these guys are driving the Next Gen Cup Series tonight, so be well aware of that as they will continue to pace their way through the tracks and in the zone. Going to be a lot of hard maneuvering and hard racing to be had here, as they will have to go through the heats and through the corners here. Through the preliminaries we come from now down, we'll take a look at the number 77. This is Patrick McQuaid, piling it down here tonight in that Muffler 77 machine, the Muffler Max coming off down around the turn, so we'll put the Chevrolet right into position. DJ Daniel also making his return back here on the show. He's the number 23 driver here in that Ford Mustang. Good to see the Fords being represented as well here. So you got a couple of the Subarus, you got a couple of the Camrys, the Camaros, and the Fords represented well here tonight. As really our two drivers here left on the qualifying stage here, just putting on laps. Patrick McQuay will put on a 38th position spot, so gonna put himself a little bit behind schedule, but a little bit behind the field here as we get settled down in. Coming out now here will be Nicholas Paneco in the number 53. He pulls his big black 53 machine out, a little back in black action. Here he comes down onto the track. Those are just tuning in right now for the stream here on the Facebook Live section here. First off, thank you so much for tuning in. Also, second off, those that are watching the replay version afterwards, thank you for tuning in as well. We certainly hope you're going to enjoy your show. Hope you enjoy the tracks here race-wise. We don't know what's going to happen yet. We're just currently getting all situated out and getting ready to go for tonight's action. It's going to be a hot racing scenario. Again, this is just our Clash event. So we'll have the full schedule and the full season coming up, as obviously Daytona will be next week. Then it's off to Rockingham, Auto Club, Pocono, North Wilkesboro, just to name a few of the tracks on their roster and on their schedule. Tonight we will take 25 into the feature, 10 from each heat, and then which are 2 heats total. And then they're going to give them a last chance qualifier with 5 on the line. That is the position they will do here. That is what they're going to be given. So qualifying very much important, especially with these next gen cup cars, because again, these next gen cup cars still have really yet to been fully tested and proven as a commodity to be used on the track. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle and how they tear things up around here. Here comes the 88 of JTR's Racing Simulators. Noah Owens now here in the Ford Mustang. He's going to lay down his lap time, trying to see if he can get some speed going. Right now, the bottom of the end here on 42, Cliff Corviette Jr. is having some problems there, unfortunately, in qualifying. Could not get himself a very good lap time in, so they put him down in the lower ends. Nicholas Panico going right into the 35 spot, so the 53 will have a little bit of a better runoff, a little bit of time to work with. We're going to get the drivers 20 laps in the heats, as our qualifying has now concluded, so now it's time to bring in the heats. So we'll take a look at our starting lineup here right now here on PTM Racing TV. Here is your starting lineup from the pole. Robert the Mullen Lawrence will be in the number 34 is outside. It'll be Carl Handwork in the number 51. Row number 2, it's going to be the 33 of Brock Whitehead is outside. That's the 60 is Zach Woods. Row number 3, it's my long lost cousin Nicholas Schreiber in the 5 is outside. Joey Chapman in the 21. Row 4, it's Jeremy Richmond in the 98 and it is outside. It's the 9, Eddie Morris. Row 5, Ryan Sizemore in the 3, and the pilot is outside of him will be Matthew Rodriguez in the number 57. Row number 6, that's Wes Fuller in the 35, to his outside, Brock Savalti in the 97. Row number 7, the Jason Schilling in the number 2, that'll be the outside of him, Charles Whitehead in the 28. Row number 8 is going to be Daniel Keown in the 25, to his outside, that's going to be Chris Wheeler in the 38. Row 9 sees David Motspa, and the 1 is outside the 53, Nicholas Panico. Row 10, Nathan Bogart in the 30 and is outside, will be Blake Howell in the 26. Row 11 sees the 15 of Logan Hartman, it is outside, that's the 84, Cliff Corviette Jr. Final starter, the 88, Noah Owens. Your lineup is set, and the drivers are ready to bring it down onto the track. Race fans, I know you're just as excited as we are, and we are ready to call this action, get this one going. A lot of heats to come, and a lot of fight, a lot of racing to go. Ryan Sizemore jumping on in here, trying to get Keenger Grimes in here. Savannah Shriver coming on board, saying number 5 with a heart and a flame emoji. You know she loves that number 5 tonight. Aaron Brown coming on board, saying I got no teammates in my heat. Well, Aaron, you might need to make some friends out there. That's all I'm going to tell you. We got a few camera angles we'll share with you guys as we go along for the ride tonight. Here we go now, staging area. It is time to bring the drivers out on the track. You may see some words text getting moved around here a little bit. The producer's trying to make sure everything gets settled into place. Make sure we got ourselves a set stone for this one. Heat number 1 ready to go on the stage. 20 laps to the distance for these drivers as they're ready to pilot them off here. Robert the Mullet Man, OnlyFans Lawrence. I think you guys know him by now. He's been one of the toughest drivers on the Fast and Fun side of things come Monday, Tuesdays, nights. Well, now he's going to be one heck of a showcase here on the Friday night section. Carl Handwork, this will be the first time we see him in that 51. Great qualifying time, calling away with a solid third place there. Looking to possibly make a show for himself and look to maintain that distance and ground here. We'll see if he can do it. At the 31 of Brock Whitehead. I think you guys know him all too well right about now as well. Zach Woods, good to see him back on the show and back on the track. Nicholas Shriver, same for him. Been a while since we've seen him out on this place, but thankfully he is back with us and he's ready to go out and race it with them. Danielle Wildman coming on board saying, let's go. Bogart, move it up. Aaron Brown saying, go 98, 96, 97. Tori Manuel, let's go. Blue Motorsports. Y'all got your picks. Y'all got your favorites. But now, race fans, the time has come. The time is here. The place is now. Off of corner number 4, these drivers will reel them down on the track and in the zone. Here's the wheelman. Flag him down. Green flag high in the air. Well, rocking them off of turns 1 and 2 right out of the gate. The Mullet Man right out of the spot will have the early advantage. Drafting going to be a very crucial factor here for these drivers. They're going to need to start pushing and shoving as much as they can out of the gate and hope for the best. There's not a whole lot of run and slingshot maneuvers they're going to get because of that low downforce package. It's going to be a very tricky little scenario, tricky stuff to deal with tonight. Christopher Hupka coming on board saying Wood's car is looking good. Yes, sir. Great to hear from you there, Hupka. It's been a while, my friend. Right out of the corner number 4 here, they should push them on in a little bit. Here looks like the 51 having a little bit of problems down there. Carl Handwork having all sorts of problems getting a run on the outside. The bottom lane seems to be the go-around for these drivers out of the gate. Not surprising here because, again, that whole troublesome scenario of trying to push and shove is a lot easier to do. When you're on that bottom lane, there's a lot more passing opportunities if you go up top side and let someone get to you on the inside. And that's exactly what we just saw right here. On board here with Brock Savalti as he tries to hammer him down. You can see the focus in his eyes already, determined to try to keep this car in a good spot, in a good place. Remember, only 10 drivers advance into the next round right now on the bubble. That is Wes Fuller in the 35. Anyone behind him is currently down and out at the moment. And they'll have to work to the last chance qualifier, and I guarantee you they do not want to go there. That's a no man's land spot that can make every driver work a little harder for him. On board there with that 28 of Charles Whitehead as he tries to hang in there with the field, hang in there with the drivers. The roar of these beasts and the roar of the motors just being put on display in full charging ahead. Ryan Sizemore, though, is going to get put into a bad spot here. He's up in no man's land. That's not the place you want to be, sir. Trying to bring it back down quickly and trying to cut off Charles Whitehead, and just lucky enough for him, he's actually right on the cutoff line, so he manages to hang on to his chance to make it into the A main tonight. Running up through the track zone, in position they go. Nick Shriver right now, the number 5, piloting it right up in the top 3, up 2 spots, started back in 5th, moving into 3rd. Now looking to try and knock down the young phenom in the 31, Brock Whitehead, as ball drivers continue the ground, continue the momentum. In the back of the pack right now, drivers trying to find some run on the outside. Nick Owens trying to get some help from the number 1 of David Motorspa. Not getting any help though just yet. Look like he might have a little bit of a problem down there trying to get anyone to go with him because, again, unless you have a full-size field of about 7 or 8 on that outside, good luck getting any runoff here on that out banks. The top shelf will just not give you the run, and again, a lot of it just has to do with that horsepower and dealing with the car itself. Remember, if you're new to the show and we haven't heard us talk about these next-gen Cup cars before, I'll give you a little insight here with this onboard camera here with Daniel Keown. And this is how tough these cars are to handle. Watch that steering mechanism and how it goes to the corner. It may look pretty easy and pretty similar to usual Gen 6 cars, but let me tell you something. Feeling that car right now and the way it travels at the moment until they've done that update, That thing is about as loose and is kind of an uneven to really hang on to into the turns as I think I've ever experienced a Cup car in my lifetime. It's very, very difficult to kind of keep your distance, keep your ground with, because it just wants to shoot straight left or straight right, because you're having to fight off that steering, that counterbalance the way it is. If the mechanism inside makes for extremely hard steering, and that's one thing these drivers were knowing very well when they came out here tonight. They couldn't be as smooth as the trucks or Xfinity. They had to work it a little harder, and they knew that they were going in. They were going to have to be a little bit more careful on when they gave up their line or they gave an opening. Going on board here right now with Joey Chapman, really the guy that I would not have thought has gone as far back as he has, but unfortunately he did. He started 6th tonight. He's currently back in 9th at the moment. Chapman needs a little bit of help here because that drive on the outside was not where he wanted to be, and it got him stuck in the mix of the field. That was also with the guys like the 51, unfortunately. As you saw earlier on, Carl Handwerk was trying to get something going there, trying to build speed. He just could not get it to go, though. Down in the front, down in the back straight away, they'll let him up here. And the Mullen Man, OnlyFans, Robert Lawrence. Yes, Dusty, I know you're here, and I know you're waiting for me to call it. I said, there you go, buddy. He's currently in the race lead, and he's got old Brockhead with him right behind him. Brock Whitehead trying to take him down a few notches here. As our caution flag comes out, we've got ourselves a caution here on the back straightaway, it looks like. Yellow lights flashing out here. The driver's going to slow down here. Major issues here for the 88, Noah Owens. Well, we're not for sure what happened there exactly. Well, so what do we do when we don't know the situation? That's simple. We visit the PTM Racing TV instant replay presented in part by BackFire Sim Racing tonight. Here's a look at the replay. And it looks like some drivers may have got a little bit more aggressive than they probably were thinking here. Oh, definitely was a case of ouch. I apologize for anyone that's got some sore ears down there. That one might hurt a little bit, but I'll tell you what, that 88 is going to be hurting a little bit more than I think most of these guys are going to give him credit. Noah Owens took a huge lick and a huge hit there, unfortunately, kind of in that wrong area, in that wrong section, to say the least. Here's another look at it. You see it right here, kind of pulling off the move, looking for the top side run. Gets kind of shot down in a bad angle in a bad spot, and unfortunately had nowhere to go and nowhere to angle off from. All three drivers are okay, and they are at least communicating with their teams and their folks down here, but they are definitely not too happy with that one there. The action has just got started here on PTM Racing TV here, folks, in this new season, in this series, if you will. The last time we visited these guys, they were running the Gen 6s, and they were running the All-Star race back in Nashville Super Speedway. Jumping into this series, though, at the time they did, definitely was a bit of a risk, I would say, a bit of a kind of a shot in the arm, if you will, because remember, come February, I swear, we're going to have ourselves a major update on our hands, and those next-gen cars are going to be one of the major factors and key updates, because these things are getting a bit of a boost package, and I guarantee you they're getting a bit of a handling package. For those that are not aware or not following up to date, of course, from NASCAR, they do work very closely with ties with iRacing themselves, and obviously they've been very much in lieu of getting the 670 horsepower package with a lower downwing spring spoiler on these cars. So what they're going to do is, I believe, is what pretty much I'm hearing from our sources, is they will eventually, when time comes, they're going to get everyone situated out and update the cars just like they did with the Gen 6s when they were at Talladega and Daytona, kind of updated to be more realistic to what they do have back on the actual tracks at those Daytona and Talladega tracks. Danielle Wildman saying boat moving up. Woo! Yes, he definitely is indeed. Aaron Brown saying I won that All-Star race. I was about to say, Aaron, you remind me of someone there, buddy. I was thinking you did. Michael Kinzel coming on board here tonight saying ready for Heat 2. Michael, yes, we are ready for it too, my friend. Keensley, not Kinzel. Oh, I'm messing up the name. I just talked to you about that too. It's the Keensley. It's not Kinzel. I'm like, I know I just messed something up. Something just got messed up, and I've got to call myself out on it. So Yellow flag high in the air, but watch this as the lights turn off on the official's light in there. That means one thing. A flag high in the air like that means there is one lap to go before we go green. Another way to know, well, the pace car lights turn off on there. And that's when you just double file them up. You tighten those belts down just a little tighter, get everyone situated in, and it's time to just make sure you run a rip because it's about to go racing once more. Daxton Stoltz coming on board here tonight, saying Daniel Cohen stealing it. Yes, indeed. Eric Sadler and Ghost Driver, Richmond, Sizemore, and Whitehead. Eric, great for coming on board, bud. We'll talk with the top three at the very end of this night here, although I think we might have time to get the heat winners in if possible. We'll see about that. I'm not totally for sure, because we do have a lot of racing on our hands and a lot of stuff going down on the track at the moment. We're halfway through heat number 1 here with 10 laps remaining. We'll have the 25 lap A main event coming up here in just a little while, but at the moment we're getting suited up, settled down, and ready to fight them on out. Once again here as I bring them back off the corners here of turn number 4. Drivers preparing for the inevitable, for the big runoff here. The Mullet Man, OnlyFans, Robert Lawrence, call him what you will. He is looking to put that big bad build Ford Tough 34 up into the race lead, into the bracket zone as we bring him off of corner number 4. This time by, they will set the stage, set the tone. You see our flagman ready to call it. There's the green flag. Lights are on. We're back and running. And Brockhead saw a pretty good opening, but he didn't see what happened right behind him as well. Big wreck there on the front straightaway. Logan Hartman, Joey Chapman involved in this one here as Noah Owens just now comes off a pit road here. And the 88 with major damage on that front end, the hood badly broken off there. They are not calling a caution here. They're going to let him go. Just was a little bit delayed on that. I believe they were thinking we were going to have a caution. They realized, hey, wait a minute, there is no yellow flag. We got to get back to the show. They're going to let him run, and they're going to let him keep going at this point. I don't blame them, but unfortunately, if we're going to have to see a few of them for sure now have to make their way from the preliminary here of Heat 1 down to the last chance qualifier. Pacing their way down through the field zone. We're on board now with the number 60, Zach Woods, representing for his Toyota Camry team here tonight. Trying to get some momentum built up, trying to hang in there with the field as he continues to drive her on down the back straightaway and looking for a draft zone partner. Off a corner end here right now, Wes Fuller in the number 35 trying to hang in there with Carl Handwork. You know, earlier on he had a little bit of problems hanging up there with the field, but now seems to be kind of dialing it back up as he hangs in the top 5. Eddie Morrison, the number 96 tonight, represented pretty well. He's up 4 spots here, and if you can believe it, that's not quite our hard charge of the day. That would go to Wes Fuller at the moment in heat number 1. Field just bringing it all down and not letting a single thing get into their minds. They only know one thing, and that's hang in there and just push everything they got to its limit. You see that little gap in between the field. Right now that is currently being held up by Ryan Sizemore and the number 3 as the number 2, Jason Schilling, trying to get some help here with them. Looking to get a big draft speed going. This is extremely genius what they're doing right now. They're backing off to then set the run up with the Talladega Daytona draft train. But unfortunately here for Sizemore, I don't think Schilling had that idea in mind. He goes and takes over the final transfer spot at the 10th place. Might as well just say he completely threw an intimidator move at him. He just put that thing in there and said, nope, we're not doing this today, partner. You're getting out of my way. Schilling now with the advantage. He is in the top 10 bracket looking to claim the fame. Right ahead of him, though, the number 98, Jeremy Richmond, and then behind him, 97's Brock Savati. All now running him down, looking to hang in there. I'd say really guys up front right now are pretty much all but secured. when it comes to hanging in the top spot, I think more than anything, it's just going to boil down to can they keep their strength in their numbers and keep their strength on the track. Through the field they go. Still everyone pacing down on the fin zone right now. Looks like David Motorsport's going to be put a lap down even further. The number one having all sorts of problems. Got caught up in that wreck earlier on. And now has to deal with the added pressure of what he went through just a second ago. Zach Wood trying to hold Richmond and Savati back here as Schilling looks for maybe a few more spots. Meanwhile behind him, I'd say that 38 machine here. Looks like Mr. Chris Wheeler might be looking to be a wheelman and put one up on the number two. If he's going to do it, though, he's going to have to wait for the coming laps, because that train right ahead of him is not going to give him an opening to get inside, even if he gets past the number two. Schilling, I gotta believe, very well aware of this here. Everyone else kind of keeping a close eye on things. Blake Howell, the number 26 driver, gonna look to be having to work his way from the transfer spots in the last chance qualifier. Although he doesn't seem to mind having a little bit of fun, just kind of pushing up a few things here. Maybe looking to put on a show in the back here as the guys just play on a little single file draft run here. The Steak and Shake, number 57, Matthew Rodriguez. Oh, Rodriguez getting right into the mix of things. David Bogart, though, right off of turn 4. Just got the bumper and got sent to the shadow room. That car is not coming out that time anytime soon. And Bogart, unfortunately, is going to have to go to the last chance qualifier due to that little hit and run, unfortunately. What a tough break for Bogart. He was doing so good early in the game. Couldn't quite get it to go, though, and now he's having to find himself pretty much getting vanquished to the shadow realm. I've been there before. It's not friendly. It's not fun. They don't have cookies or pizza down there, folks. You don't want to go there. Down to the final laps here as currently their field continues to strengthen, speeds up, and continue the momentum. These drivers running right now at a solid speed and solid control of over 195 miles per hour. Their top speeds tonight could have wheeled up towards to 210, 211. 210 was hit up by Ryan Sizemore earlier on in the number 3. And right now, honestly, if it weren't for the fact he's driving the 3, I would have thought he was somebody else out here. That name's all too familiar with that 3. I think you guys probably know what we're talking about here. And no offense to Austin Dillon, but it certainly is not him. Coming around off of turn number 4, though, still we are down to our final laps, closing them down. 2 to go. Green flag high in the air. We are nearing the end of this one. Allison Collier coming on board as well earlier. Did not mean to forget about you there, Allison. Do love hearing the chat when you guys come on board. Do love kind of talking with you guys. So if you have anything you want to know or anything you want to see, just feel free to comment down below. I'll try to help you guys out as much as I can. And if you guys want to help us out too, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head over to YouTube and subscribe there so you never miss a show. You never miss a beat. Really appreciate you guys coming on down tonight. Firing them down off of turn number 4, race fans. This is the white flag lap now, presented by BackFire Sim Racing. White flag is out for the mullet man, Robert Lawrence. Not been tested, not been phased, but I guarantee you that the old Sergeant 34 is going to have his hands full with old Brockhead if he gets his run off. Brockhead is sizing him up and setting up the move. Will he get him off of turn 4, though? That's the main thing. Maybe looking to get him off the end here, looking to run him down. Look at this now, a little bit of movement right behind. They see a runoff coming from Zach Woods. Zach trying to put everything he's got with Jeremy Richmond right behind him. You can see her Antwerp trying to hold on, trying to stabilize him down here. They'll bring him right off the corner ends of turn number 4. Down to the finish line they go. Brockhead making for a run. They'll crash right in front of him, though. And Brock White able somehow, someway take it to victory lane, and he won. Oh, my. Huge wreck in front of him there, colliding down on the front straightaway. Every driver for themselves at this point. Good Lord almighty. Well, Brockhead's going to get the lucky day of his life and pulls off a W in heat number 1, but is he going to be able to carry that momentum into the A main? That remains to be seen, but holy cow, we've got a parking lot on the front straightaway. That certainly is going to probably ruffle up a few feathers, and if I had to guess, maybe a few guys will not forget that one later on. Brockhead, though, had to do everything he could to run it down with Robert. Otherwise, Lawrence was going to take that from him. He knew what he had to do and had to secure it. Let's take a look at our top 10. Then we'll move on into the next round. Brock Whitehead, though, will be the number 1 seed into the A main. Eddie Morris will be the 2nd seed. 3rd will be Robert Lawrence. Nicholas Schreiber getting 4th. 5th to Zach Woods. 6th to Jeremy Richmond. 7th to Carl Handwerk. 8th to Brock Savelti. 9th to Wes Fuller. And 10th, your final starter in this one will be Jason Schilling. Everybody else, well, I hate to break it to you, but you must go to the last chance qualifier or be banished to the shadow realm, because you are not to pass go. You are not to collect your money. You must go first and take 4th in the last chance qualifier. Well, alright, we get our next set ready for last chance qualifier. Here is your starting lineup for heat number 2. Aaron Brown, the man you just heard from. He won last time here at PTM Racing TV. He wants another one. He'll pilot the 95 to his outside. DJ Daniel on the 23. Row 2 sees Mike Kinsley in the 8 to his outside. Chris Papa, the number 13. Row 3 sees Ricky Gonzalez there in the 48's outside. That is Bronson Stanford in the 61. Row number 4 is going to be Pierce Maffitt in the 47 to his outside. That'll be Mark Dingman. Row number 5 is going to be Nick Biddy in the 85 to his outside. Tom Bourne in the 16. Row 6, Bailey Jelinas. Oh, I'm going to mess that name up. Sorry, Bailey. Bailey Jelinas in the 14 is outside. That'll be Mike Sabanovatsky in the 22. Row number 7. We'll pilot him down there with Jova Davidi, and it is outside. That'll be Hunter Collier. Row number 8, it'll be Michael Corvier in the 82 is outside. Paul Owens at 32. Row 9, Anthony Zirkle in the 29 is outside. Thaddeus Marshall, the 87. Row number 10, Triple Trey, the man came to play Whitehead, and is outside Patrick McQuaid, the 77. Row number 11, it's Daxton Stokes, the 31 is outside. Christian Rose in the 43. And finally, Cole Martin in the 45 rounds out your field for heat number 2. Here and now on PTM Racing TV, to the green flag we wave, and it's time to go and play, boys. Hard on the charge, hard on the momentum here. They'll line him down around the corners and right through the field. Charging him back through the momentum here, getting through. Oh, no. Look out right to the back straight away. We got a big wreck right on the back stretching. Oh, my goodness. A whole field parking lot behind him on that back stretch. We've got a junkyard out here. Oh my, huge wreck here coming off that end of the turn 2, and it looked like maybe just a big, extremely aggressive driving by one in the 48 of Ricky Gonzalez. Gonzalez, I thought, may have just found himself a little bit of an opening. Instead, may have found himself a trip to the shadow realm. Let's take a look at the replay here and see what happened. Well, there's a lot of movement out of that start, I'll tell you that much. You can see at 13, he's trying to get down low, and I think Gonzalez wasn't quite expecting him there. And then here's where everything just went to the haywire. Pretty much half the whole field pretty much just wrecked out of that one. I mean, if you're driving in the top 10, I mean, I don't think you got to be too mad about that. But I mean, if you're any of the guys that got put into that spot, in that predicament, I don't think you want to be them right about now. Well, a tough break, though, unfortunately, and a bad situation popping up there on their end. We'll see how well that gets into this one here. Well, race fans, I said earlier on that we may talk with our finisher, with our #1 finishers from the heats. Well, we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Here he is, your #1 heat finisher here. This is Brock Whitehead in the 31. And Brock, talk about really catching a break in a big moment there around the mullet, man. You managed to find a way around him on the outside, and you two just completely collided in a last-minute stop. But hey, you're going into the A main. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels good. I didn't know that we were gonna. He wanted to finish 1, 2, 3. Trey's mic was muted, so I didn't get any contact about that. But yeah, that was a crazy run. I set him up going down the backstretch, letting off of him. Made the move coming out of 4. Looks like he came up a little to the side draft, and it just got too aggressive, and we collided. But yeah, still somehow won the race. Barely won it. I think won it by half a car. But yeah, feels great, and gonna try and carry it over into the future.
When you get into that A main, I'm going to ask you this real quick. What do you have to do to try to hold on to that race lead and hold on to that victory? Because we saw the Mullet Man pretty much lead that one out until the last lap, and it looked like you two may have something going on down there. I mean, do you have to try to block them a little bit quicker than they would back in the final laps there?
Yeah, run the bottom just like he did. And then what happened whenever I set him up, I don't think he was letting off. Yesterday I kind of held the brake so he couldn't back off of me, and I think that's what I'm going to try and do again. Try and make it where he can't get off my bumper and get the run coming out of 4.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Brock Whitehead, we do appreciate coming on board here, sir. We certainly hope to see what happens coming up here very shortly, so best of luck to you and your crew as we continue tonight's action.
Yep, thank you.
Brock Whitehead, the number 34, representing Sizemore Motorsports, coming on board here tonight. Big thank you in large part again to BackFire Sim Racing for bringing us back on out. It's been so long, so many days and times we've really just kind of thought to ourselves, when would we return? And I'm glad to see Friday Night Action is back here on the show, and I'm really good to see all you folks out here coming on down tonight. Sean Bounty saying my money is on the pace car. You would know there, Bounty Hunter. A lot of love down here for the number 27 of Hunter here, Allison Collier going for him here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he is our lone Australian tonight, and we got our lone Canadian here, Bronson Stafford. So all the way from down under, Hunter Collier, the 27. Good to see him back on the show, and great to see him out on the track. I always love it when we get some international flavor here on PTM Racing TV. It always warms my heart. I love seeing it, man. Christopher Hupka saying I'm going to root for McQuaid in heat number 2. Well, McQuaid right at the moment, he's currently in that 13th spot at the starting line here. So, well, actually 14th now in the game. So he'll be in row 7 one way or another. But I guarantee you that you see that eyes on the focus in his mind. He's got nothing but temptation and strength in his land and his world right at this moment. Charge him up, size him up here on the back straightaway here. DJ Daniel. Oh, I know him all too well here on the PTM Racing TV side of things. He has been one guy you gotta keep your eye on throughout these races, throughout these moments. He can push to shove and he can push for the run, but he will give it everything he's got no matter what when he gets onto this show. Trevor Halapoff, I hope I'm saying your last name right, man. Saying, let's go, Bailey Jalenas. I literally just talked to Bailey just a second ago, and I literally know I'm gonna get myself into trouble because I keep messing these last names up. Allison saying Hunter is from the Cayman Islands. Whoa, that's awesome. Cayman Islands. Where? You might have to help me out with that one. Where? Okay, producers, give me a Google that one up for me, would you please? Help me out. Oh wow, Cayman Islands. That's the British Overseas Territory. Wow. Ooh. Talk about a whole new climate. That's a whole new area to say the least. And speaking of a whole new area, I think it's time to bring the limits back down, the straps back down the track. Let's get it going here on PTM Racing TV. Back to the action. We're hitting it. DJ Daniels trying to get a big help. Oh no, this is not going to end well. How the heck did they not wreck right there is beyond me. What a save. Oh, but that doesn't mean I was going to talk about right behind him, though. Tom Bourne into the wall protection. The 16 wrecked hard there on the back end. He'll have to work from the back of the outhouse in the last chance qualifier to hope for the best here. Oh, one of these drivers just trying to find openings and they can find some chances where they can get it. Mike Keensley right now dealing with some company up ahead there as he goes to work with Bailey Janellis right now. Bailey trying to hold the outskirts of the outside line, representing the number 14, number I know all too well. That's my number he's running in, at least on the sim stamp side of things, but that's not the car he's actually in, I'll tell you that much. I believe he's piloting in the 78 on that one. Here's we go on board with him. That's kind of the hard part about having to switch around here with the sim stamps versus the custom number stamps. You can see that's definitely not the number that you saw a second ago. That is a 78, by the way. Well, speaking of a little bit of bumping and running here, we got a little bit of company coming up. Triple Trey, kid to play Whitehead. He is pushing Hunter Collier right here pretty hard off that back end of turn 3 and 4. Trying to make a move and trying to make a ditch effort to get around him. He does not want to go to the last chance qualifier. That is a no man's land in his mind. He knows what happens there. It can be do or die time when you get to that point. I'll say this though, compared to heat number 1, this heat is all over the place here. Guys worked hard in the front, getting pushed to the back. Guys trying to go up top side, getting thrown way back in the back. Oh my, Trey Whitehead put right down on the bottom lane below the yellow. Thankfully, this isn't NASCAR. We don't have to worry about that getting in the way. Running down the ends, here we go. Looks like that's the number 31, I believe, here of Daxton Stokes. I got to pick a little well, I make a little apology there. I think it's a 63, actually. Again, he's on the sim stamp side of things. He got the 31, but that is a 63, I can say for sure now. He's right up ahead here of Chris Papa. It's Papa. I talked to him earlier today about what was going through his mind, what he was preparing for when he got out on the track today. He said point blank, and not a whole lot really goes through my mind when I'm trying to race. I'm just trying to stay in the moment, live it all, and that's exactly what he's doing right at this time in play. Trying to hang in there and watch for any openings when he can, gets himself some chances there. Allison letting us know it's down from Cuba next door to Jamaica. That's pretty crazy, man. I've met some folks that live farther up in the Newfoundland territory, but I've never met anybody from the Jamaica side of things or even the Cuba area. It's pretty cool. Speaking of pretty cool right now, so I just mentioned our Newfoundland friends. Well, we've got some fellow friends from farther up north in the Canadian region. Bronson Stafford here in the 61. He is currently 3 spots up. Started back at 6th, moving up into 3rd, and he's looking for possibly a bit of a lead change or a lead gap here as DJ Daniel tries to find a way around Aaron Brown, that 95. Aaron Brown right now trying to stay out of trouble, trying to stay out of harm's way, if you will. Now looking to get himself into a place he doesn't want to go. Last time we were here with him and we watched him out on the track, I'll tell you one thing. He was bad, fast, bad, tough, and he was just a bad man down at Nashville, and I really was pretty impressed, to say the least. Kind of thinking tonight would be the same case, the same situation. He certainly is doing that a bit more here. We're rolling on our halfway point, and remember folks, we have a last chance qualifier still to go. And let me tell you something, it can be a wild one. It could be an absolute showcase and a half here from these drivers and from these individuals looking to make way and maintain their opportunity and their chances at possibly making the big one work for their way. Down on the end still, everyone looking for position, jockeying around, trying to get some kind of runoff, some kind of area here. But there's one thing I don't want to do is give an opening to any of these guys. Saw right just up ahead there, and looks like maybe a little bit of a ground and pound, little shake up here between Daxton Stokes as well as the 8 of Mike Keensley. Mike Keensley looked like he may have saw something coming off that end there with Chris Papa on the 13, but Papa not exactly one that will let loose off easily. He's trying to get around Joey Davidi. Joe Davidi here in the 83 is the one on the bubble. So he is the last chance driver before he will end up having to end up in the last chance qualifier. Nick Biddy right up ahead of him, pretty much in a pretty comfortable spot, I would say, not having to worry too much about what's going on. Thaddeus Marshall and Triple Trey came to play Whitehead right now in the top four, in the top 8 row 4s. The 81 of Thaddeus currently hanging in there, hanging down the track zone. No problems here so far. Maybe a little slight damage on that right side, looks like, from his car end, but I'd say everything else looks pretty much tip-top shape. Maybe this is kind of just a little refresher, kind of an idea that's going to come up. I mean, when we got 25 of these guys out on the track, I guarantee you, when they get a chance, they're going to be pushing everything full beyond their limit and full beyond their moments here. Tony Westcott saying, whatever happened to the lady drivers in these, or do they race in different league? Tony, that's different league, my friend. That'll be Sunday night here with Pedal to the Metal Racing League, as well as the Monday night Pushing Limits Racing League. And don't worry on Pedal to the Metal, by the way, we've got some special racing coming up. We've got some new names, new faces, and new people on the roster and on the list that you are not going to want to miss out on. You best stay tuned. That comes Sunday night as we got ourselves a caution flag thrown out here. Thaddeus Marshall and the 87 problems down there in turn number 1. And with only about 7 to go, they'll put them back down, about 3 to go remaining before on the next go round. Let's take a look at the PTM instant replay. Find out what happened here. Here's our look at it. This is what happened coming off of turn number 1. Looks like a 3 wide slowed, ends up going completely wrong. The 14 and the 77 collided in, and man, Thaddeus just got put in a bad spot there. You saw it right there, just hanging with this field, hanging with these drivers. And the next thing you know, gets taken completely for the ride of his life. Christian Rose, unfortunately, just kind of getting in a bad angle, in a bad spot. We'll go on his onboard camera here. And for those that are been here on PTM Racing TV before and they know what we're usually all about, yes, we did do quite a few updates around here. So there are a few things that may look a little differently, just a heads up, but unfortunately, I'd say one thing that does not look any differently is the damage that is caused with these cars on Daytona. That remains to still be the same issue, which is they just get tore up and they are beat to shreds. Ooh, look. So, field will have to re-rack, restack, and go back out on the attack here in a minute. Next driver saying hell of a finish in the first heat. Yeah, you're telling me. Tony Westcott saying, okay, thanks for the update on that. No problem, bud. Right now, looks like we have about 3 laps remaining on the restart zone. You see the pace car's lights are still on. The yellow lights flashing high in the sky. The eyes in the sky, if you will. Currently just kind of doing their way around the track, just giving themselves some breathing room, some time to think about this just a little bit. As mentioned before here, next week we're going to be back here at Daytona. This one will be the main series race. This clash tonight. Really just all about giving these guys a chance to be on live television and also give themselves a bit of a feel of what is about to come in the season. But after the 14th of January, we go down to Rockingham on January 21st, which will then bring us down to Auto Club Speedway on the 28th. The 4th will head it down to a little tricky triangle action, with the 11th being North Wilkesboro Speedway. And I'm not going to lie to you, folks. I am very, very, very interested to see what these next gens will do at that track. I've seen them run on short tracks before, but North Wilkesboro is a whole nother animal. So we'll see there. The 18th, still not quite sure. That is to be determined. And then the 25th, they'll be down at Sonoma. March 4th, we're going to head it up at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And then Talladega Super Speedway come the 11th. Take a little break on the 25th, but before that, a little Bristol night race action. Never hurt anyone. Get ready to see that and then some. Next driver saying 4th place for me. Let's go, Sobonovatsky. Get all the BMS cars in the feature. Danielle Wildman saying, come on, Zirkle. Brand Lowe coming on board now saying, how's everybody tonight? Well, Brand, I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing, sir? Great to have you on the show. Alright, race fans, that one to go has now been confirmed. We are going to have 3 laps remaining on this restart. And I guarantee you one thing, if you thought that first heat was pretty gnarly, I think the second heat might be a little bit more, because that's one thing that DJ Daniel's known for. He will fire it hard on the outside. Aaron Brown's been one to just go ahead and take your run and block it off as quick as you can. Will he be given that opportunity and that chance to do it, though? Because this is the time, this is the place, and I guarantee every single one of the guys on the outside are thinking one thing: get to the bottom. Forget about what goes on down the top side. Forget about everything else. Just get to that bottom. You don't get to that bottom, you might as well kiss your chances of winning this race, or even worse yet, getting out of the last chance qualifier. That much more. Right now on the bubble is the number 8 of Mike Kingsley, with Chris Papa right there with him in that number 13. Daxton Stokes, Anthony Zirkle, and Mike Sobonovatsky all looking to get in here. Arthur Collier and Cole Martin as well. They're on the lower end of the bubble. The bubble is right on that 13 of Chris Papa. Kingsley right in the mix of things too, so it's going to go either way here with these drivers as we wheel them down off of turn number 4 this time by race fans. We're going to go one step ahead and go one step bigger. Time to bring it on down. Here they come now, down across the track, down in the playing field they go. Green flag in the air, and now it is time to bring it out. Daniel gets lucky, gets to the inside quickly, but you saw the 61 of Bronson not laying off him just that easily. Had to make a move and dive down quickly. Look at this here now, the 47, putting it right into the mix here. Pierce Maffitt with a beautiful move down to the bottom. Textbook maneuver around triple tray. KW White as they run right back down the back straightaway. Huge wreck ensuing, yellow flag out. And Christian Ross, number 14, just cannot seem to find a break or a chance to get out of this mess tonight. Unfortunately, Mark Dingman also involved in that one in the 19. Really, at this point, unless he gets a big break here, he's not going to get out of this one that easily. Let's take a look at the replay. Looked like a bit of a bad shot here, unfortunately. And really hard to tell. You saw the wreck was already starting here. We'll have 2 green-white checkers, by the way, in this heat, but let's see if we can get a good look at what happened here with Dingman and them. Look like drivers are just trying to find runs and moves to get around. You can see the GTR Racing Simulator boys getting a good run there in the 22. And looks like Dingman just got dinged. Got dinged, taken for a ride, and, well, unfortunately, I hate saying it, but he has been sent to the Shadow Realm. Well, things are just going to get a little crazy around here. They're just going to keep going, so we're not done just yet. So 2 green-white checkered attempts coming up, obviously, here, though. I know, guarantee you every single one of them do not want that to happen. They want to just get this race going and move on to the next round. Hupka saying, just an FYI, Roos is pronounced like rooster without the tur. I swear he said it was like, he said it like gross. Like roast. Like I said, without the G, it's just roast. Like a roast. I don't know. I gotta talk with him about that one. I may be wrong there, Hupka. Or you may be messing with me. He's a little prankster. He can give me sometimes. I'll admit that up front. Kathleen Martin saying, nice race, guys. Kathleen, thanks for coming on board here tonight. Danielle Wellman saying number 29, at least 2 spots. Come on, go for the top 10. Well, Hunter, if you're hearing her, man, I probably would start getting something going here, because when you got a fan base on you, you know you got to start making some moves and making some runs here. Drivers now looking to hammer down and get this one dialed up once more. Bailey in the 78 right now, currently in the top 5. That's going to really do him some good here. Help his chances out, help his opportunities out. And you want to talk about a hard charge of the night award, give it to the Triple Trey. He came to play Whitehead Camp. He's in the 6th spot right now. But the 36 driver knows what comes next. He must stay focused and get to the bottom lane as soon as possible here, because we're going to go to the green flags restart zone in just another lap after this one. Right now, the only one completely out of the equation here for this heat is Tom Bourne in that 16. Unfortunately, he just got collided in way too soon and way too hard there. There's not a whole lot you can do in that spot, in that whole scenario either, really. That's just kind of one of those, you find yourself in the wrong place, wrong time. And it just ended up costing you more trouble than it was really worth, and it really makes everything just hurt just a bit more in your sides and in your car. Well, you can feel the intensity. You can cut it with a knife. You can feel the action really starting to pull up and pull away right now, folks. We're about to conclude heat number 2 and then carry over to our last chance qualifier. We'll light them up and fire them off as the drivers prepare to go to war once again here. Aaron Brown will be the man in charge. He knows the way. He'll show everyone how to play. So much enthusiasm in the comment section, by the way, tonight, guys. Love it. Absolutely love it. I usually don't see too much of that comment section really running up here. You guys getting all crazy in there, but I'm loving it. I like it. I think you guys are having as much fun as most of these drivers are probably down on that track, I'll say, tonight. So, here we go. Rolling them off here down through his turn 3 and then back through turn 4. It's time to see who has the advantage and who can play this one out. Top 10 right now. Papa, Davide, Biddy, Corview, Maffett, Whitehead, Stafford, Jelinus, sorry, Bailey, Daniel, and then Brown will be your top 10. The ones on the bubble: Kingsley, Zirkle, Stokes, Collier, Salvanovsky, and Martin. They're all on the bubble, but they don't want to be there for too much longer. Here we go. One more green flag restart coming up here if they can't get this one in. Pretty solid start. Oh, but there's a lot of guys already trying to find some openings here, trying to find some runoff. Up ahead at the moment, here comes the 78 trying to dive it down in. He's left in no man's land. Bailey's in trouble. He's going to have to rely on that outside draft zone, try to hope for the best. He's looking for a push, looking for a shove, but he's getting a little shoved up more than I think he really wants to. He's got an opening to the inside. He can't take it, though. He couldn't get it. And now he's got to find himself in the elusive spot with a 3-wide salute mixed in between and a big wreck right out of turn 3. Caution flag is out. Ricky Gonzalez and Paul Owens smack dab in the middle of turn 3 and 4. And a huge wreck ensues there. Unfortunately for both drivers, we're going to go to one more green-white checkered and call that one done and over with. But let's see what happened here. Here is a PTM Racing replay. This is from our little drone cam we got flying around here. I don't know how they got such a good shot, but hey, I'll take it. They were watching right behind. You saw the 3-wide salute intervene. And the 77 kind of drove right in there with Rodriguez, and next thing you know, it was all a matter of madness and chaos in between. And Noah Owens, man, boy, took a huge hit there and took a huge lick there. And Gonzalez, I should say, not Rodriguez, got completely decimated in that one here. That's pretty much going to cost both drivers their chance at even ending this one out. They'll have to go to the last chance qualifier in this case. You see right here, the 77 dropped it down low. Gonzalez backed off, but too little, too late. And then Owens just came on bar and said, "Hey, bud, how you doing? Hope you don't mind me dropping in." Well, we're going to get this one in one way or another, folks. We still have a last chance qualifier coming up. Last heat, only 2 cautions. This one, 4 cautions in this case. And a lot of that, I think, is really due to the fact they were paying very, very close attention in the first heat. They saw what was going down. They saw what was transpiring. And I think that really kind of ramped them up to drive a little harder here. Just to try to hang in there and try to get something to go their way. I can't necessarily say that I blame them. But at the same time, I think this just goes to show you that really making it into that top spot and making it into the championship rounds is easier said than done now. And it has really put everything in the driver's perspective and put everything a lot harder to master. Alright, race fans, looks like one more time by, and then it's double file action here. And remember, this is their last chance. They don't get any more chances after this one. You either finish this one out, or you call this one a night. Either way, that's all you get. Yellow flag, eye in the air, stick it straight up, turn the lights off, and there they go. Field of over 23 drivers in this hunt and in this fight, looking to try and make way and take shape and take form with this. We've watched it all before as some of the craziest battles and craziest races have come from the Daytonas, the Talladegas, the plate tracks, the big tracks, small, little, and all that. We've seen some hectic finishes before, and I think right now we're about to get another one. Down on the back straightaway, Aaron Brown, as I said it before and I'll say it again, he has the commander start. He tells the drivers what he wants to do. He may tease them a little bit, he may mess with them, but he will do one thing for sure, and that is get off the line and get off the start. For guys like Trey Whitehead, I guarantee he's probably happy he's right where he's at. Nick Biddy, I probably would say right at this moment the Summit 85 is looking to just dive it in a little deep and make it stick, because he knows he is in a bit of a troublesome spot if he's not careful here. They'll bring him back around town. Here we go, off of turn 4. The pace lights are off on the car. The lights are off on the flag stand, but not for long, because they're going green, and we're gonna take this one on in for the finish. Running them down, Bronson Stafford gets a great jump on the inside. Pierce Maffitt left high and dry. Maybe he needs to get down that bottom quickly. Gonna go quick. Yes, he does. Biddy falls in suit. Look in the back. Oh no, huge wreck yet again. They're going to call it. Caution there. They're calling it. Chris Papa flipping upside down, completely wrecked out in the end zone. Mike Kinsley is out as well. Christian Rose, unfortunately, in a major spot. The 14 crashed in badly. Daxton Stokes going to give him a little love tap for that one. I think also the 22, Mike Savansky, doing it. But it looks like our top 10 is going to be Bailey Jelinas, Hunter Collier, Michael Corriveau, Joe Davidi, Nick Biddy, Pierce Maffett, Trey Whitehead, Bronson Stafford, DJ Daniel, and Aaron Brown walking away with this one in heat number 2. And what a wild, wild, wild heat, to say the least. Allison, you might want to get the champagne out and put the shrimp on the Barbie. We've got ourselves a winner here. Pretty insane, absolutely crazy, to say the least here. What a milestone and hit this one was. Boy, what a wild heat again. And man, these drivers, I guarantee you, were not expecting some of this madness to kind of come up the way it did, but it certainly hit up to a few spots. And the thing is, now last chance qualifiers are coming up, so now it's going to put drivers even more into the field, into playing field here. Cole Martin there, unfortunately parking the 45 there on the trail end of turn 4, and there he is, your race winner, Aaron Brown. Gonna put it right up ahead, and DJ Daniel, I think, just wanted to get a little close for comfort and make him think about this one into the next one, in the next main. They'll have time to rest it out a little bit, but Aaron Brown will win heat number 2 and advance to the top spot in row number 1. He'll go on the outside start with Brock Whitehead, as the field just kind of celebrates really what could have been a more chaotic finish or a little bit of a crazier finish, but not in this case. DJ Daniel maybe a little bit dejected, unfortunately. Knew he had something coming up for him on that last set of restarts. Did not quite work out the way he was hoping for, though. Last chance qualifier is coming up right here now on PTM Racing TV, folks. And this one could get very interesting in a heartbeat, but here are the race results look now, presented by BackFire Sim Racing. Top 10, Aaron Brown, DJ Daniel, Bronson Stafford, Trey Whitehead, Pierce Maffett, Nick Biddy, Joe Davidi, Mike Corriveau, and Hunter Collier, with Bailey Jelinas running it in the top 10. And right now, as we get ready to quit the running jokes on my end here and get ready for this last chance qualifier, this is going to be our last step before we go to the A main. But on the pole, Chris Wheeler will be on out there, with his outside being Anthony Zirkle. Ryan Sizemore will pilot in row 2 with Thaddeus Marshall. Row 3 sees Matthew Rodriguez and Patrick McQuaid. Row number 4 is Charles Whitehead and then Mark Dingman. Row 5 sees Blake Howell, and then outside of him, Ricky Gonzalez. Row 6, Nicholas Panuco, and his outside will be Christian Roos. I'm gonna say I'm still saying Rose, but I thought it was Roos. Yeah. Anyway, Daniel Kiaun, and the outside of him will be Mike Savansky. Row number 8, it'll be David Motorspa. His outside, Daxton Stokes. Row 9, Noah Owens. And his outside, Mike Kingsley. Row 10 will be Joey Chapman with Chris Papa. And row 11 will be Logan Hartman with Cole Martin on his outside. And finally, piling this one to the end, Cliff Covier and Paul Owens rounding out your driver's lineup for this one. Tom Bourne and Mr. Nathan Bogart in this one as well. Alright, race fans, here we go. We're getting settled down and we're getting ready to go as soon as our producer decide to fix our little overlay issue here. Thank you for that. Dory, we ain't running out of breath. We ain't ran out of steam just yet here. Last chance qualifier coming up now. You get only 12 laps to get this one figured out. And then it's off to the main event. 25 laps to the distance. Which one of these drivers possesses the strength, the willpower to win this one out and finish on the top of the mountain? We are about to find out here and now on PTM Racing TV. We'll charge them off of turn number 4 this time by. Let them wheel, let them deal. Get to the racing, get to the steel. They'll bring the momentum and they'll bring the power on the track here, guys. It's time to go racing once more. Here we go. The golden opportunity and the golden chances to strike it big and strike it hard are definitely persuading themselves here. Remember, we'll only bring in 5 in this one. 5 drivers advance, so it doesn't matter where you finish on the top 10. You better get going quickly here. They're going to go 3 wide, so in a bad spot, a big pile up right out of turn 3. Oh my goodness, a huge pile up here out of turn 3. Drivers completely destroyed and passed down off turn 3 and 4. They just drove it in way too hard and knew they were in a bad spot from the get-go. What happened here? This was an absolute wild move here. I don't know what exactly transpired, but we're going to take a look at it. We do know at least one thing, that Panico, unfortunately, got in a bad spot. There's the tap there. He gets into with the 87. It looks like Thaddeus Marshall managed to get away and escape. The 48 there. Could not quite do the same. Unfortunately, Gonzalez got tangled up a bit, and everybody else just went along for the ride. That's probably one of the biggest wrecks I've ever seen here on PTM Racing TV, and I've been broadcasting for over a year and a half now, and I still have seen quite a few big ones pop up from time to time. You can see right there, he had no choice. He was already in the grass. He got sent down there trying to get back down quickly. And you can see that 3 wide slope just really was nowhere to go. That really is kind of the scariest thought in your mind, in the back of your head, is when will that happen? When will that transpire? If and when at all. Unfortunately, it did happen there, and they got a lot of guys kind of all crooked out and messed up here. So the laps will wind down right now. Top 5: Whitehead, Zirkle, Rodriguez, Sizemore, and Wheeler, all in it to win it now and to take this one home and finish this one in the A main and not finish it on the trailer tonight. Drivers after that big wreck, they're coming out now, trying to hopefully settle back down, get things figured in. Yeah, I kind of really trying to figure out maybe if there's a lot more momentum to carry through in the corners than there is really on the straights here, because it seems like a lot of these guys, when they're trying to push and shove, seems like they're trying to do it more on the corner ends here and trying to hang in there at the speeds and the distances. I know on the straightaways, obviously you got a lot of runoff, a lot of speed down there, but I mean, at the same time, it can be a very dangerous little area to hit out and really get yourself into a bad place here. So, right now, Sizemore and Wheeler will size each other up and hopefully find themselves a place here on the track. A lot of chaos, a lot of mayhem, really ready to bring it onto the field and into position. So we're going to see what happens right here at the moment, as we're going to see everyone charging back up, racked, stacked, and all that. Time to put them back on the attack here. Riding him up here for that restart zone. Back to the action they go. Boy, the power of the beast and the power of the motors being put on display. The stars and the cars looking to rablish them up. Reel them in. Bring in the fight. Bring in the pain. Giving her everything she's got. Remember, only top 5 advance on. Everyone looking for openings when they can, trying to find some chances of opportunity as well. But again, they don't want to go too deep into this. They know the 3 wide slip with these cars. There's a no man's land problem just waiting to happen. And no Owens finds that out the hard way here. Caution flag back on out. Oh my goodness, this last chance qualifier taking more drivers left and right and taking them out left and one and the same, I should say. That's just absolutely heartbreaking to see, man. That is a tough break there. Noah tried to dive it in there, and he just gets clipped by the 63, and it's not a whole lot he can do from there. And again, he had to get down that bottom, or he was going to be stuck really in the back of the pack, because you just don't have any run. You don't have any speed. If you're going to do it, you have to do it sooner rather than later, and unfortunately, he did it a little too late before he got caught there in the mix of it. You see right here, he tried to bring it back down. He saw an opening, and then the 6-3 just... Really, the 6-3 didn't even try to do it on purpose. There was nothing he could do about it. He had to drive it in. Because at that point, he's already committed. He's already doing it. No one knows that he was going for it, but there was just no commitment to really bring into that table end. Definitely get excited here though on PTM Racing TV, folks, because I'm ready to see what happens when we get settled down, settled in, come for the next roundabout of racing, because the A main is coming up after this. And with only about 4 laps to go when we get back to the restart zone, I guarantee you these drivers will not hesitate to push themselves past their fullest extent and really push the car more towards its fullest potential than really it ever should even think about. Well, let's ride him back in, folks, and let's settle the score and settle it on down now. It's time to double file him up. Looks like this go around. 4 laps remain. Car's lights off on the car, and everyone else ready to build it back up, build the machines ready in the position zone. And folks, I'll tell you one thing right now, we are nowhere near done with this week. Coming up Sunday night, yeah, we'll have tomorrow off thankfully, but Sunday night we will have a doubleheader, the return of Joe's Six Pack Racing League, as well as the return of Pedal to the Metal Racing League, and it is looking to be the biggest season yet for both drivers and both territories. It is a packed, full-starred, blooded roster. We cannot wait to talk to you more about it come Sunday night. But right now, with the return of the BackFire Sim Racing crew and their extremely talented drivers and their battles that rage upon us here now, they are ready to get this one dialed up once again for another great season, a great showcase. We weren't able to complete the last season with them, so this season we marked our words and marked it down. We wanted to get this full season in with them and see what can they bring to the table and prove, because we know one thing, they can bring some hard racing in there. 4 laps will remain come the restart zone. Which one of them will be able to maintain the distance, maintain the ground, and stay out of the troublesome territory that may lead to the shadow realm? Back to the restart though. We're running to hunt them off down yet again. We're going back to the green flag. Drivers in the back, they're going to do everything they can, try to hope for the best and maybe make a run at the top spot right now. Look at this, to the 29th, Anthony Circle is the last remaining man on the bubble. He has got to get back to that top spot with Tom Bourne. Tom Bourne literally 21 up. He is the hard charger of this one, and maybe the hard charger of the night, period. That's incredible to say the least. They've even gotten as far as they take a 3 wide saloon back behind all of them. Fresh coat of paint, a fresh redesign there for the 88. Noah Owens, that fast repair, doing him a number out there. Hammering off the corner ends here, down that front straightaway here. We are back with 3 to go. Oh, and a huge wreck ensues right in front of us here. Big problems down the front straightaway. Patrick McQuaid just completely upside down, flown into the air and thrown up like a volleyball down in Daytona Beach here in Florida. Patrick McQuaid, crazy wreck here. Unfortunately, that may be the end point for him and maybe the end of his night. But my goodness, talk about a way to start his moment of a huge wreck to say the least here. Let's find out what happened. So we can take a look at it here. Looks like contact made between him and I believe that is the... I believe that might be the number 32 of Paul Owens. I do not believe on that one. Let's take a look at the other end of the spectrum here so we can get a look at it. Take a look back at this replay one more time here, and it really just, yeah, I believe that was Paul Owens that got collided in there with him. Yeah, you can see right here, he gave it a little push and shove, and next thing you know, he goes for a ride here and sends everybody back to the ends of the pharmaceutical company. Because they may need a few painkillers for how bad these guys are going to be hurting after the night. There's 2 green-white checkered attempts coming up here for these guys now, and I guarantee a lot of them are just thinking, how on earth do we even get through this one? Well, the night of tore up pieces of equipment and the night of really just all around chaos and madness from every end of the spectrum. A green-white checkered is in pursuit and is in range. And we'll have to add a little extra overtime here to the list with this last chance qualifier. Really, it is a last chance indeed for a lot of things, because these guys are not going to get very many of their chances at this one. Now remember, come next week they will be back here at Daytona, so this doesn't necessarily mean that they're out of the hunt, out of this running here. This was a race that allowed drivers to come out here and test their skills, test their waters, and see if maybe they would like to stick around with the league. So some of these guys you may not see come next week, obviously, but I guarantee you a lot of them probably will want to come back, at least have a good showcase for themselves and put on another fight for them on the track. One more go around, then we'll bring out the green. We'll bring out the green-white checkered. Those that don't know, as we said earlier, green-white checkers are when you go green, you go one lap around, then it's a white, go one more lap, and your checker flag sees it. Whoever gets it first wins it. Pretty simple, isn't it? It's so simple, you can even say a caveman could do it. Not that there's any cavemen here in 2021, but in 2022. Well, no, yeah, you see what I'm doing here. I really think it's still 2021 around here. Is it kind of crazy that I keep forgetting that it is 2022 around here? So the time is here now, race fans. We're gonna go this time by. They'll bring him off the back straight away here, and I guarantee you Wheeler, Sizemore, Rodriguez, and Marshall are all thinking the same thing. Just hope for the best. While Bourne and Whitehead, they're gonna need a huge push and a huge shove of the run to get into that top 5 final transfer spot. 5 will go in, but only 5 in total. Which ones will it be? Which one will it see? The A main is up next. Remember, this is our first of 2 green-white checker attempts. If we have to go that route, we did in heat number 2. I expect these drivers to really push and shove as much as they can, run as hard as they can off on the end here. Nick coming on board saying, "Thank you, you're doing great out there." Thanks, Nick. Really appreciate it, bud. For those at home that were wondering earlier, no, Nick is not actually my long-lost cousin. I made a joke about that earlier, which you can go back and watch our Nashville Super Speedway race. It was actually just a little mini joke we kind of inverted in there. I swear he's not my long-lost cousin, but right now, here we go, back to the green flag restart zone. And at this moment here, everyone that's having all sorts of problems, having all sorts of fits, are going to have even more problems. Ricky Gonzalez. Motor quits on the front straightaway. He heads into pit road. They will not go caution just yet. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, my goodness. No, are you kidding me? A huge wreck getting the whole field in this one, too. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And Charles Whitehead, unfortunately, finds himself in a very, very bad ordeal, in a predicament that I don't even think he could have gotten out of if he even tried. Gets caught in a bit of an issue, and really I think the car either found himself in a genjutsu or he didn't know what the heck was going to happen there. Here it is again, the restart zone. Not a very good restart for him, and he knew it out of the gate. Driver's pushing up the shove and pushing it right to the field. See him trying to back it off, get out of the way, but with the 21 and the 26 collided in and taking with them, everyone else avoiding it. As a huge pileup kind of ensued right there, and that is a tough break there for him and his crew. We'll take a look at it from his left rear suspension here. Again, the DMJ Auto Body Sales and Service just had nowhere to go in that case, in that spotlight. You can see even our camera angles took a bit of a beating there. Great camera angle there by our producers, but oh my goodness, folks. Well, one more to go. If they mess this up, it's over with. Top 5 in the moment: Chris Wheeler, Ryan Sizemore, Matthew Rodriguez, Thaddeus Marshall, and Tom Bourne. With Daxton Stokes, Noah Owens, and Charles Whitehead still in this hunt, still in this chance. And I just gotta say something real quick here. Remember Noah Owens earlier on, he was getting taken for a ride and sent to the shadow realm more often than not, and still, he somehow, someway finds a way to put that 88 in the fight and in the hunt. And I'm not sure if it's because that GTR Racing Simulator rig of his is just holding him up so much and keeping him pretty much dead focused and dead set on taking home a final chance of the last chance qualifier, or that car just has absolutely no giving in it. It just wants to keep going. I don't even know anymore. Nick coming up for it saying it only makes sense for me to race where you're broadcasting. I'll make the driver name proud. Well, thanks, bud. I do know in the Dirt Series we had a Crusader driver tuning in from time to time. It's kind of nice to see him kind of running out on the dirt side for once. Danielle Wildman saying Bogart in that top 10 though. Yeah, Danielle, it is true. You see him in the top 9. He's currently 9th at the moment, looking to maybe play ultimate spoiler on these guys and really make them think about it just a little bit more. He's up 16, so he could definitely be an odds-on favorite here. Tom Board, though, the hard charge of the night, 21 spots into 16, still incredibly hard to believe. Thaddeus Marshall, the 87 driver, looking to get himself into that final position, that final pick as well. Talk about absolute madness and chaos all around us and hard racing throughout. It's been that good, but it's been that crazy at the same time, my friends. Now, try to wheel him off, try to wheel him down here and put this one under wraps, put this one finished out on the track. Here it is, race fans. One last chance. Remember what happens on this one. We go yellow, it doesn't matter. We freeze them at the line, it's over. It's game over. We're going to go to the A main after this, no matter what. Chris, the wheelman Wheeler, gonna have to hope for the best and hang in there just a little longer. Ryan Sizemore looking to up the ante and really make Wheeler think about it just a little bit. Warming the tires up, preparing to do battle here. Tori Benyo saying, love that number 88. Well, no Owens, I'll tell you what, he does not give up and he's not giving out just yet. And I must say too, that is a pretty sweet looking ride on that 88 machine. They will punch our way down across the back straightaway. Every driver for themselves. Nowhere left to hide, nowhere left to run. It's either get to the top 5 or get on out of here. One way or another, we're finishing this one on this last restart. We'll pace them off down off the end zone into the turns, into the corners we go. Let's see what happens. Let's see what transpires. Off of turn number 4, the drivers are ready. The fans are on their feet. They want to see this one being put to wraps and put to good measure. Here we go. Green flag is up in the air. And Ryan Sizemore with a big advantage. Got a good jump. Everybody remains clean, but remember, we're going to get into turn 1 and 2 before we can say anything else. They dive him in deep. They made a big move off there. They were going for it. We're still clear. Can they get back straight away? They got a run off for 2 right now. Daxton Stokes now moving into the top 5. Thaddeus Marshall right behind in the wheel end. Oh, a little bit of problem down here, down turn 3. Having to put it back up. They will remain clean. They'll keep it going. We stay clean. We remain green. Off of turn 4. No! The 22 goes for a ride here. Mike Savatsky in a little wall protection, but they'll go to the white flag. We're going to fish this one under the championship run. They're going to go to the checker flags this time. Somebody's got to make a mistake here. Thaddeus Marshall found an opening, takes it away. And Daxton Stokes gets put behind. Noah Owens looking for one last move. And unfortunately for Daxton, he's going to get sent back to the Shadow Realm. He'll have to work off next week if he can, and we'll see what happens there. Look at this final runoff coming from Mr. Owens, though, right at the end. Trying to hold on, and not born. Dealing with some company right there with the 88 here. Noah Owens sneaking on the outside. They'll pilot it down with a hard charge and gating into the end zone. Oh, a dump and run by Owens. He tried to get him. It's not going to be enough. And Chris Wheeler collides there at the end with Sizemore, but holds on for the race win. Oh, my. Kingsley is going to be your final starter in the top 5. How the heck did he make it? Beyond me. But he's in it, and he's going to the championship round. The A-main's coming up. Christian Rose, unfortunately, he's going to be put in 6th. He's the odd man out. Noah Owens came so close yet so far. Looked for every ounce of it left in him. He just could not get it. And now, really the Clash of the Titans is coming up next here, race fans. But what an absolutely wild, wild race from start to finish. And the thing is, we're still not done. One left. One more to go. I already see the comment section kind of blowing up on me a little bit. I'm sorry, guys, but I mean, that's just, we got to call the race as we see it. They'll give them a little warm-up time here while we try to catch our breath. I may think we might need a few drinks of water for that one. Sizemore, Wheeler, Rodriguez, Marshall, and Kingsley, they advance to the top 5 in the finals of the championship round here in the A-Main. They will get their last chance qualifiers set in motion, set in stone. And boy, what a race that one was. That was just chaotic as can be here in Daytona Beach, Florida. But nevertheless here, time has come. Drivers will get one last little go around here and just kind of run it off on the field. Well, apparently everybody wants to go out there and do donuts, I guess. I guess they're having a little bit too much fun down there. Up there is warm-up end, so it's time, race fans. Here we go. The moment we've been waiting for, the moment has come forth with us. It is time to bring the drivers, the stars in the cars to life here on PTM Racing TV. Here is your starting lineup for tonight's main event for BackFire Sim Racing. On the pole, Brock Whitehead will pilot it down. His outside will be Aaron Brown, the 95. Row number 2, it's gonna be Mr. Eddie Morris. And the outside of him will be DJ Daniel. Row number 3, the Mullet Man, Robert Lawrence is outside the 61, Bronson Stafford. Row number 4, Nick Shriver, and the outside of him will be Triple Trey, the man came to play Whitehead. Row 5, Zach Woods, the 60 is outside the 47 of Pierce Maffett. Row number 6, Jeremy Richmond is outside. That'll be Nick Biddy. Row number 7, Carl Handwork, and is outside Joe Davidi. Row number 8 is going to be Brock Sabalti. It is outside. That will be Michael Corvier. Row number 9, that's Wes Fuller, and is outside Hunter Collier. Row 10, Jason Schilling. It is outside Bailey Janus. Row number 11, Ryan Sizemore is outside Chris Wheeler. Row 12, Matthew Rodriguez and Thaddeus Marshall. Your final starter here tonight. Finalizing from the last chance qualifier, it will be Mr. Mike Kingsley. The time is now, folks. This is the place to be. On your Friday night, we thank you for coming on board. Let's send it down to your A main event. The time is here. The time is now, race fans. The clash at Daytona has come upon us. 25 laps to the distance. We've waited all night long for this one. We've waited for this moment. This is where things get wild. This is where things get frenetic. Pilot him off out of turn number 4 this time by the green flag flies high in the air. It's time to go racing, race fans. Feel the motors, feel the power, feel the aggression. These drivers are bringing it all on the line now. They're not just bringing themselves on the track. They're racing for their friends, their families, their pride. It's all here. It's all now. 25 of the best coming at it here for BackFire Sim Racing, looking to put on not just a show for you fans at home, but also to try and pursue the ever-elusive moment of weakness here. But unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of carnage right in mixed here as the 83 of Joe Davide gets to the 85 of Nick Biddy. And unfortunately, everybody colliding here down on the front straightaway. Major wreck here. Hunter Collier involved in that one. Michael Coivier as well. Oh my goodness, I spoke a little too soon. I think I might got a little bit aggressive on that one. Let's take a look at the replay here, and this is a bit of a wild head scratcher here, unfortunately, coming off that end. The PTM Racing replay shows all, tells all. And you can see it right there. Ouch! Oh my. Got flipped for a ride and a half. Got sent back to the place you don't want to go. And just got taken for a complete 180, if you will. That has got to hurt. And that's not going to feel too good in the morning. I will say that right now. Get another look at it from a couple angles here. See right there, that little dump there, a little action you can see right as well. Great driving by West Florida there in the 35 to stay out of that trial mag zone and get out of the way of that mess. Knew he had really no choice but to get down there and get away from it quickly. We're going to go with Joe Davide now and just show you the onboard camera. You're probably wondering at home, like, well, it looks so easy on our end. Like, why are they having so much troubles? Well, remember again what I said earlier about that steering. You can just see the way that steering is, the way it centers off and it goes around. And then also that front hood kind of being kind of a barrier here. You don't really know what to hit up with and where to go with. So some of these guys really have no idea what's going on until it's just too little too late. So we'll have to re-rack, restack and all that. And right now, Brock Whitehead, still, as we mentioned before, looking for a second career win here on PTM Racing TV. Although that's usually with the Fast and Fun Cup Series or the Truck Series in this case. It's kind of crazy to think now this is the complete opposite. He is literally in the driver's seat and been pushing himself to its fullest potential and its limits here. So we stretch it back out here and fight him on down the track zone here. Charles Whitehead's coming on board saying, "What up, PTM? Good to have you on board there, Charles." So run them back down, run them through the field. And these guys just want to get this one fired up again. They want to get back to the action here. They've been waiting a while to do this. They've been waiting a bit more time to get ready to go and fire them up once more. Remember, there's no more positions that matter other than the one spot, which is the number one spot. Earlier in the heats, it was who got in the top 10. The last chance qualifier was who got in the top 5. Now, there's only one position everybody cares about, and that is where lies the number 31 of Brock Whitehead. Dusty Bardwell saying mullet fans, and yeah, I'm not saying that last part, but Dusty, thanks for coming on board, bud. I knew eventually we'd have to deal with him here, so it's good to have him on board. So at the moment here, as they lead him off the charge here, turn number 4, driver's ready to get him back squared away, getting him back taken care of through the march and into the zone. Off of turn 4, they line him up for the green flag restart. They see green, they're ready to take this one down for a little mean green fighting machine. And a great restart here out of the gate for these drivers as they start to push these things on in. Put him up out of turn number 1, down to turn 2. Here, look at AJ Daniel getting a big help there from the 61 of Bronson Stafford here. They're going to wreck right behind all of them here. Big wreck right out of the pursuit of turn 2. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Quite a few involved in that one. Looks like Bailey involved, Wheeler, Sizemore, handwork. Guys just getting sent straight left and right to the shadow realm, and no one can find a way to escape it. Well, no way to know for sure what happened until we go and take a look at the PTM Instant Replay. And looks like Sizemore just brought it right down, and again, there was really nowhere else to go. That's just the crazy thing about racing, man, is you just never know who makes a bobble, who makes a mistake, and who gives an opening, but at the same time, you just don't know when to close them sometimes. Dusty Barwell saying FTW stands for the win. Sure it does there, Dusty. Alright, going off of turn 2, and there you see it right there, Sizemore just draw it down, and nobody else had really anywhere to escape it. Took him for a bit of a ride, took him for a bit of a shot or two off that end. Driver's going to have to get squared away again and hopefully figure this one out a little bit better. Drivers looking to wheel them in around town, ready to back them on by here and hopefully find themselves an opening or two here. Some crazy racing in between to start this one off tonight, and been an absolute mayhem and madness in this position. So right now our drivers can field it back in, trying to hopefully calm them down a little bit. I know they're getting a little excited down there, but I probably would bet a lot of these guys want to run tonight here and run a little bit harder on this one. Dialing back up, and we'll re-rack, resack, and put them back on the attack here. 22 laps remain here on PTM Racing TV. Again, on our live feed here tonight. Also, check out the YouTube end here right after the race if you had some friends that missed it or want to see the race backwards. I promise you this much: we will have all that and then some on the YouTube following this race right after. Coming around here one more time by, get them back to the green flag restart zone, and we'll light them up again and get the greens out. Lights up once more. Aaron Brown on the outside, taking a jab down low. Ho ho! He went at the 31 of Brock Whitehead, and Brock, man, he did a smart move backing off at the right time, but I'm not so sure that one was going to give himself a bit of a headache there. So that really made things a lot harder to keep in control of. Now Brockhead's going to have to go with the proverbial stance of finding a way around Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown, though, man, Gabe driving on his end to pull it just enough ahead. The Mullen Man, OnlyFans, Robert Lawrence right now currently working for the outhouse. Remember earlier on, he was up in the race lead and got completely nullified and taken for a ride on that front straightaway of the tri-oval section of this 2.5 mile long track. Found himself in a bit of a bad area and a bad omen here as we got a caution flag out. And Jeremy Richmond here in the 98 stuck dead on arrival here. And the caution laps are not going to count as well here as well. It's just something quite kind of keep an eye on as here in this case. Here's what happened though down on the turn front straightaway. Richmond had a clear area there. He saw a lot of guys moving through quickly. That was a 78. Pushing a few ramps up, but unfortunately the 8 got a piece of him there. Kingsley just did not have enough to hang on. Bailey was also trying to hold out line, trying to hold on for dear for anything he could, but just kind of found himself in a clear area and found himself in a clean shot. Made it through just fine, but they can't quite be said for Richmond here. See right here, just kind of came off of turn number 4 and everything looked alright here, but tried to dive it back down in there and find an opening, and then Richmond found himself being sent back down to the shadow realm. I've been in those shoes before. Actually, I'm the one usually gets spun the most out of all of them, so I know how he feels a little bit. That's definitely not what you want to experience, that's for sure. Brockton Packard saying caution laps don't count, so any place made before a lap is complete doesn't count. That is true, Brockton. And honestly, I think it's kind of a bit of a better end here for these drivers to really be able to put in that spot. So for those that have still stayed around with us here on PTM Racing TV tonight, thank you so much again for taking your time out of your day for this Friday night action, seeing some friends and family coming on board here to watch some racing. Remember, next week we will be back here at Daytona with these guys, but thankfully we will be running on the normal race circumstances here, not the flash style, if you will. Although I guarantee these drivers are definitely looking forward to much more than just that clash style. They're looking for a lot of clashing and racing out here. They did allow some drivers that were in the free-for-all section, so they let them come out here and race with the boys that are currently set for the season opener next week, obviously. Some guys getting a little bit more set in motion tonight than I think most realize just by understanding how these cars work and how the speeds are going to work with them. A lot of positions still up for grabs. Drivers looking for every opportunity they can. When we get back to the restart, we'll have 21 laps remaining here. Here we go now. Set the cars in motion, set the drivers in field playing position. And now it is time to bring everyone back to back to the track and back on the attack. Packed house, not just in the stands, but of course on their crowd here tonight. Absolutely love seeing every single one of you tuning on in here, commenting away this entire night. Really means a lot to us here on PTM Racing TV. We love hearing you, we love seeing you. It just makes our hearts warm. It makes this job even more worth it, just to have not just a show to the drivers out there, but just really for the ones that even make it possible in the first place, which is you fans at home watching on, as well as those that are watching down on the track side here. We get restarted here once again. Things could get very, very interesting here. We are set in motion, 21 laps remaining, and this time the shoe is on the other foot. Aaron Brown is going to be the guy to have to be taken down here, as Brock Whitehead will look to try to make a move on the outside immediately. As soon as they get that green flag put up into the sky and into the playing field zone. Looking for the lights to turn. There are the lights. There's the flagman, and it's back to green racing. And I think Brown is well aware of what Brockhead was up to here. You got to mount the charge. You got to mount it quickly here if you want any kind of runoff. Down to the zone they go, and the 5 and Nick's driver getting right to the bottom and quickly trying to escape the clutches the outside runoff zone, but he's going to get punted a little bit here by Robert the man Lawrence. Robert Lawrence with a little tag and a half there from it. I don't know if he really appreciates that one all too much. Gonna have to hang on for dear life if he can, try to hope for the best and get this thing reeled up just a little bit longer. Knows he cannot let this one get cooked up too quick. He knows he's going to hold on just a little bit. Oh, and a huge bump and tag there from the 8 of Mike Ainsley to the 87 there of Dadius Marshall. Dadius Marshall, man, just took a huge lick in the rear and a big bump and a snug there and a little bit of a hit or two off that. But meanwhile, Aaron Brown holds the race lead line down just a little bit. Brock Whitehead still trying to get him. Coming right down the ends, down the straights they go. They are still in this to win this. Talk about chaos and madness throughout this one and here tonight. Coming down around the corners here in the zones once more. Brockhead and Aaron Brown still on the trial and still on the charge. Bronson Stafford, much of the same. And Bronson, we haven't really talked too much about him tonight, but you know, again, he is a lone Canadian tonight in this field. And he certainly put up a number, put on a show up against these guys that put on the track side wide it's tonight. He's not really giving anything up, hasn't given out too badly here to the Americans or even our lone, the Australian down there in Hunter Collier, part of the Cayman Islands here of all things, and that's the first time I've ever heard anybody from that region of that land of those islands, of course. As we learned, he's from the middle of Cuba and Jamaica side of things, so pretty awesome to hear and pretty great to see a guy like Hunter really putting up a show and put on a trackside race performance with this car tonight. Brock Savalti, the 97, he's had a bit of a wild season as it is already, and a wild night to say the least, as his teammate Aaron Brown continues to hold the line down and hold the field in position. Dusty Barwell, I have no comment on that one, but I know what I said, and believe me, I just now realized I probably should not have said that. It might get me a little bit in trouble, but that's alright. I'll be alright. Running him right through Brockhead. Brock Whitehead still right there with Aaron Brown. Brown, though, is defending the line and defending the crown, trying to hold off all those that oppose. And when you got a big Chevrolet Camaro looking at you dead in the eye like that in that rear view mirror, you just know one thing is for sure. There is a bunch of scare tactics, you could say intimidator tactics, being put on full display right now. Everyone's staying calm and under pressure at the moment. They now only have 15 laps left to go. Will this end up being another one of those Heat 1 performances where you see drivers just completely pulling off the reins and pulling out the strengths and weaknesses better than anyone else? That could possibly happen in this moment. Speaking of happening in this moment right now, Carl Handwerk getting some help from the 96 of Eddie Morris here as Eddie Morris tries to hang up the boots on the back straightaway and put up some more momentum up on the front, on the back end to get to the graphs arm that is right ahead of him. Brock Savalti and Michael Courview are the ones to get to. Running them off down the back straightaway, triple trade. The man came to play Whitehead, looking to try to redeem his family member Brock and help him out a little bit. He's got DJ Daniel and Bronson Stafford right in the mix of things too. Every driver for themselves, still hoping for a little bit of that roundabout shootout kind of momentality tonight. We'll have about 13 laps left to go. Absolutely awe-inspiring craziness to say the least between these drivers and between this field. No one giving in, so no one giving out yet. But somebody has to say something or someone's going to give in a little too quick. My long-lost cousin Nick Shriver right now trying to hold down the Shriver clan and the Shriver name. And again, he is not my cousin for the record. He's currently trying to push it right up there with Jason Schilling. As the number 2 is currently the hard charger of the night. 12 spots up for the number 2 machine. He has been piloting this thing from the rear end to the front ends more times than I could usually in a relationship. But he's been doing everything and then some and trying to hope for the best. holding on, and just running it down on the track zone here. By the way, just double check on the stream, man. Does anyone have any troubles or any kind of glitching on their end or anything like that? Or just my end here on my phone? Because I'm having seen a little bit of an issue on my end. Hopefully it's not on your guys' end, though. Otherwise, I'll put up the technical difficulty screen for just a brief second. Gotta make sure the fans are being pleased and the fans are happy right now. That's our one rule of thumb on this show. Coming down out of the back straightaway, the front straightaway now. Brockhead looking to gain ground, get some clearance, but look at DJ Daniel, the number 23 driver, now also making his marks and hitting him. Some big moves might be being squared away, might be being sized up, if you will. Neither one of these guys obviously want to lose out on this track or on this race, but someone, as we know, must give in and must give out. That's the only way to work around these parts of town. Alex Kerfon saying stream is fine. Dusty Barwell saying I am pleased. Best announcer in the game. Dusty, appreciate it, man. Coming down on the back straightaway here. It looks like some momentum coming your way here, folks. Pierce Maffer right now, the number 47, trying to stay down low and not deliver a low blow to anybody going up top to the low end. We've seen a lot of guys trying to go low all night long, but now it seems as though that there are drivers looking to make a move on the outside. Look at them trying to build the pack draft up. They want to help each other, trying to get some folks to go with them. But they're not exactly drivers wanting to just exactly charge right up there with them. They want to stay low and help for the best. But there's no way to pass unless you get something going dialed up the outside line. And I think that's what they're going to do right now. Nick's driver's got the company. He's got help coming. But Mullen Man trying to put the only fans up ahead. And look at the block by Aaron Brown. Brown went up top side. He opens the door, though, for Brockhead to go in. Will he make the move? Will he make it work? Brown, what a defensive block, to say the least. That is one of the riskiest places you can do it, and he somehow hanged on. Next driver, I gotta believe, is just completely questioning a kerfuddle about how the heck this one did him in like that. I have not even the foggiest idea how that worked or how that happened, but Aaron Brown with the block of the century, and that thing just completely nullified and stopped the run and the power that was coming up ahead of him. He is literally on the receiving end of the cups of possibly walking away with another victory, but he still needs to put the laps down. The outside had all that momentum built up, and now it's completely wasted. And I mean done and out. Chris Wheeler right now, 12 up, the hard charger of the night so far. Looking to maybe give himself one last opportunity, one more chance to strike. Had to work so hard in that last chance qualifier just to even make it into this race. He managed to get away with some big breaks and some big opportunities there, and now he's using every ounce and every bit of it here and now on the show. Driver's gonna have to completely hound the gas pedal and not worry about what's going on. You can hear the fireworks starting to boom off in the distance, because there might be some fireworks going off down the back straightaway, and that's gonna be a big wreck right out of turn 3. Jason Schilling involved in this one, and a big little hit there. Ryan Sizemore, unfortunately, and Eddie Morris in the 96 collided in. Mike Keensley looks like he evaded trouble there, and man, this was looking like it could go all the way to their green flag run, but it does not appear to be the case in this one. Here's another look at it from another replay. Let's take a look at it from our far chase cam here. Just a bad break there. They had to slow down a bit, kind of come to a dead halt, and you can see that too. Man, he just went completely flying. Got taken completely for a ride and a half, had nowhere to go, and just really was just trying to evade trouble, but There's not a whole lot of areas you can evade trouble on a track like this. Maybe 2.5 miles length. But that don't mean there's places to hide around here. You can just see right there, David, he had nothing to do. He just kind of rocketed right in, and I was hoping he didn't send him too far back into the outhouse, but unfortunately that was the case. So Brown with the pass there on Brockhead, 2 caution laps to go. 2 cautions ago, restarts if you will. And then has the absolute nerve and strength to finalize a huge block on the entire field that was running up on the outside of him, and looking to keep this one going for him and his crew. And Pierce Maffin now is going to be your new leader. He's going to try to play a very, very risky card and a very hard to master card right now. If he can somehow, some way make this work, I guarantee you he'll definitely be one of those guys you just got to kind of tip the hat off to and nod your head and say, yeah, he had a better plan than I did in this case. It's hard to think what will happen, but it could very much happen here tonight. So, when we get to the restart, 5 laps will go. And plenty of, well, excuse me, 6 laps left to go on the restart here. There's still with a major opportunity here for some of the guys that have not been able to put up a number on the back end here on the front end now, looking to possibly take shape and take aim. Those that went into pit road definitely made a risk here. But those that stayed out, maybe an even bigger risk if you ask me. This is not the time and place to be trying to play hero. You need to make sure you've got your ducks in order, and you better know what you're up to, because if you don't, this is going to be a very, very bad spot to be thrown into. I've been in this spot before. I know this situation well, and it's on the same track as well. I've had this area hit you before, as which we want to watch out is to when that restarts, get up and you start to really burn up fuel, burn up the car, and burn up the truck or whatever you're running. These things can get tore up, and they can take a bit here. Alex Garvin saying, why so many pit? There had to be enough fuel, right? Alex, to be honest with you, I gotta believe that a lot of them had burned up a bit more fuel than we realized, and they had to end up going into pit road quick enough so they can give themselves a fighting chance. I think they're looking at the long distance, though. If a caution flies out, then they'll have to force the other drivers ahead to go to pit road. I think that's really what they're asking for here now. And they're going to get a fresh set of tires with it here. The big long run coming up through. You can see a huge pass up there. Caution flags out there. Aaron Brown bringing it right down quickly. Caution is out. Caution is out. Oh my. Oh no. We got another one upside down. You gotta be kidding me. Nick Biddy there, the 85. Wrecked out completely there off that end. And what a tough break there for him. That 85 might just cannot catch a break. Take a look at the restart zone here. We'll see what happened exactly. Went to a single file start on this one. And somehow it still did not rectify these drivers kind of calming down a little bit. I think it made them a little more mad and tensions here. Driver slowing down. Sizemore, well, yeah. So this slowed down badly there, and Sizemore, he just completely took it for a ride and a half. Unfortunately, Nick Biddy was the guy that had to go for the ride. We had an onboard camera here with him, and this is what he saw when everything kind of went to the down the drain, if you will. And Alex, I think that strategy I was talking about earlier may now come into full effect. Oh my goodness! Oh, watch out! Oh, gosh almighty! Oh no! I mean, there's one thing I absolutely can tell you is I hate being flipped upside down, and I really hate that feeling you get when you're upside down. It's just a scary thought because you don't even know what's happening until it's just too little too late. So come back to the start. 5 will remain then. 5 laps in this case. Aaron Brown saying, no, there wasn't. Yeah, you heard it right there, Alex. There was not enough fuel. That's from the driver himself. Well, folks, it's been an awesome night of racing. Been an awesome night to say the least. But once again, we will have an interview with our top 3 at the end of this race here. We're going to see who is able to stay out and manage themselves out long enough. And honestly, I think, well, hold on a minute. I was going to say I'm going to strategize here and think someone went into pit road, but I don't need to figure that out. We have our own little way to figure that out. Here's to show you everything. And right at this moment, Maffitt, he has not gone into pit road. And I think right now that might have been his biggest mistake. I think he really should have tried when they had a caution or 2 out there. I think he should have tried to hit pit road for a fuel run instead of trying to run off as long as he did, because David E. Gelinas and Marshall Woods and all of them, they were out and about. And I think right now you can see Maffitt, what he's trying to do, he's trying to shorten the track out so he's not using up so much fuel, because he knows he is in trouble. This could be a very tough situation coming up for him and his crew. As you see, Whitehead, Stafford, and the other Whitehead, Trey and Brock, brothers in arms, if you will. Trying to watch carefully everything that's going down, trying to watch every little movement and spot they can get here. The lights are off on the pace car this time by. We're going to let them run and we're going to let them go. 5 laps remain. Savannah Shriver saying key top 10, number 5, you can do it. Well, if he's going to do it, he's going to need a little bit of work here, because he's going to be right in the midst of some heavy hitters with those Whiteheads and Bronson Stafford, the lone Canadian tonight. We look to bring the drivers back into play and back into the field. Single file restart coming up. I'll say this, I'm definitely excited to see what happens come next week at Daytona here when the drivers get back out on the track and back into the playing field, into the frying pan and onto the absolute hard burn stove cook of the grills. Tomorrow we'll have an off night here, of course, on PTM Racing TV, so we can probably catch our breath and catch ourselves from this one. We had a lot of crazy stuff happening tonight. Absolutely a joy to call and a pleasure to watch, but now it's time to end this one out on a little bit of a higher note. Back to the green flag race start. We're back underway. Maffitt knows if he gets any more cautions, this one's over with. He's going to try and drive it in as far as he can to go for everything he's got, but I guarantee that fuel run is not going to last him if he tries to do anything too crazy here. If a caution comes back out. And look at him running him down on that back straightaway here. A big move coming up here between David E. and Bailey. Bailey looked to go to the outside there with David E., but had to go back down quickly. Saw the writing on the wall and knew what was up. Just so much at stake and so much on the line. They know they cannot give out just yet. They have to hang in there just a little longer. 5 now transfers to 4. 4 laps remain here at Daytona. We are one step away from the ending of it all. Down that back straightaway right now, David E. Maffitt and Gillinis right now, all in the hunt. All in the fight, in the showcase here. No one giving an inch. No one giving it out here. Thaddeus Marshall trying to go for a rundown out of turn 3. Maybe setting it up. Can he get the move, though? There's a lot at stake here for these drivers, and they know it. They're out to prove to themselves and out to prove to their friends and family. They're here to stay, and they're here to play with the best of them and the best of the drivers. 3 remain. Hey, look at this big charge on the outside. There's the push. There's the shove. Nick Shriver. Here comes the 5 on the outside. They did this earlier. Aaron Brown last time completely blocked and nullified his run. But they know what's coming. They know they can get there. Can they get enough time to charge up fast there? David E. right on the outside. Now piles it on the 5. But Shriver not gone just yet. This time it didn't work. He's got him on the outside. Running it hard off of turn 3 and 4. He's got David E. right on the inside. DJ Daniel trying to push and shove him up. Shriver's got to run. Can Nick get him? Nicholas has got to run on him on the end zone. Can he get it to the bottom? Yellow flag is out. He will be the leader. He will be the leader as they collide on the front straightaway here. The 2 of Jason Schilling and the 96 of Eddie Morris get into one another. Oh my goodness. And we might as well say this is a green-white checkered attempt coming up, but unfortunately for Eddie Morris and Schilling tonight, this has not been their night. Here's what happened again here. You can see coming around out of corner number 4. It looks like Quincy might have got a little bit there out of them, unfortunately. And that may have ended up being just the run and a half tonight. Keensley just could not find a way out of that mess and find a way out of that situation. Here it is again. You can see those RPMs just screaming. They are at full bore, full blast. You can see everyone else just in a very tough spot, and a very bad spot to say the least here. But folks, you want to talk about power moves, you want to talk about big moves up to the front. Nick Shriver literally found maybe was something no one else was going to find and no one else could find, and that was a run on the outside, and the number 5 Pets for Vets is going to represent up into the top half. He is going to be the race leader, and the green-white checkered will have 2 attempts. Pierce Maffitt, if he can somehow, some way, keep this thing out just long enough, I don't even know how he'll do it, but he thinks there is enough fuel in there to do it. DJ Daniel, Give credit where credit's due. That man, he's been fighting all day long in the top 5, never left it once, except for the pit road stuff. He's been just completely bringing it all on the track. And Pierce finally has to admit defeat. He's going to pit road. DJ Daniel will stay out. Joe Davide and Bailey Julenis will have to go in as well. Mike Kingsley out of the race at this point. Brock Whitehead is now in the driver's seat as well. This, my friends, is what you call an old-fashioned slobber knocker shootout, drag-out fight to the end with only so many drivers that could be champion, that could be the winner, with many that put everything to the end. Kev Crawford saying gonna be a screaming finish. You tell me, boy. So the moment, race fans, we've all been waiting for. Kingsley gonna join us here real quick in the comments section saying go get it there, BDN. Kingsley, thanks for coming on board here, man, and what a race has been for you and your team. And no, definitely not the way you wanted that to happen, but hopefully we will see you next time out here on PTM Racing TV or soon enough, my friend. This is it. Lights are off. One thing on the mind for Mr. Nick Shriver: do not miss this restart. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1 coming up. We'll have 2 in total. Somebody is going to walk away with the W and someone's going to walk away with defeat. But which one will it be? Everyone will be in a single file restart, which can definitely help out the crew and the team here. It makes things that much tougher and more difficult to beat out and win out with this kind of a field, this kind of momentum here today. Yeah, it's been an absolute chaotic, crazy night to say the least here, and every single one of these drivers have given a story to tell, have been put on a show in some regard or another. We're going to see the restart, the clash at Daytona is about to conclude. Who will be the winner here tonight? Will it be Nicholas Shriver? Will it be DJ Daniel? Will it be Brock Whitehead? Will it be Bronson Stafford? Or will it be Chris Wheeler? That's your top 5. Trey Whitehead, Robert Lawrence, Aaron Brown, Michael Corrivier, and Ryan Sizemore. They're all in this hunt. They're all in the fight. Race fans, we're going to pilot them off a turn 4 this go around now. It's time to bring everyone to their limits and bring every single one of these drivers to their fullest potential. The fans want to see it, and they're high on their feet waiting for this one. They see that green flag there. They want to see this now. To the flag, they wave. We are green. One more time by Nick Shriver. Not the best start there, but it looks like it's going to be enough to hold DJ off. Just enough for now. Brock Whitehead looking to maybe make the jump and make the move off on him. Every single one of these drivers just trying to survive and hope for the best. Some of them just destroying all sorts of equipment and breaking everything down beyond its repair job tonight. Can we get to the white flag? Can we get there? So far, so good. This is looking pretty good here. Get him around turn 3. And drivers getting a little bit antsy. St. Chicks a little bit. Thaddeus Marshall, one of them as well. Dialing him back up on the turn 4. The white flag is out now. We're going to the white flag, the checker flag next time by Now the movement goes here. Look at DJ Daniel go top. Nicholas blocks him from the top side. Runs him down turn one. Look at Brockhead. He's got stuck trapped between him and his brother. Trey Whitehead on the outside trying to hang in there. These drivers will line him up to the fighting end. Daniel's going to set him up for the last corner. Can Daniel get Shriver on the last corner? DJ's going to have to hope for everything he can to get him. They're going to have a little bit of problem there behind him. Big wreck behind the leaders. And the field will collapse in as they lead him down. One more time by. They're going to finish about to a white flag finish. Here they come to the finish line. It's a dead heat to the finish. Nicholas going to get sent to the bottom. And DJ Daniel will somehow, some way hold him out and pull this one into victory lane. Somehow, some way, DJ with the run of the night, and just like what we saw at the very beginning of it all in heat number one, it was a dead heat finish to the line, and to the end we went. Nick Shriver gave it everything he had. Give the man his due and credit where it's deserved. He did not give an inch from start to finish. And really, what can you say about this man right here, DJ Daniel? He knows what it takes to be a champion, what it takes to be a race winner, but to be the class winner for the start of his series. I think DJ more than anything knows he set the tone and set the pace, and now next week things could get very, very much more interesting, as this was an absolute wild, chaotic finisher from the get-go. And it has now concluded here on PTM Racing TV. We're going to take a look at our race results here in just a brief, fleeting minute. But race fans, if you are tuning out with you, I do implore you to at least take care of yourselves and be safe tonight. We certainly will want to see you next week or sometime later this weekend. We have more racing coming. But here is your top 10 now. DJ Daniel with the race win for the first time here in the Daytona Clash. He'll upset Nick Shriver by a mere 12 thousandths of a second. Brock Whitehead, solid, strong performance in the 31, comes up third. Fourth to Bronson Stafford. Fifth to Aaron Brown. Sixth to Michael Corvier. Rose finished seventh to Hunter Collier. Eighth to Joe Davidi. Ninth to Bailey Gillis. And 10th to the Mullet Man, Robert Lawrence. That rounds out the top 10 tonight. Top 25 finishers, and this was an absolute fight to the end for all drivers involved, and maybe some getting a little bit luckier than others. You be the judge on that one. But race fans, let's take it down now, talk with the top 5 here, and call this one a night. Let's listen in. Starting it up from Sizemore Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back into the booth the number 31 driver. It is Brock Whitehead. And Brock, congratulations on a top 3 finish, bud. A solid performance in heat number 1, and now tonight, a major finishing here for you and your team with Sizemore Motorsports.
Yeah, we did a pretty good job there. Trey tried to go up on the outside, and then they blocked. I was like, oh, well, maybe they'll stay up there, and then they came back down. But yeah, what a race. Good job to DJ, and hopefully we can carry it on in the next week and win the race.
For sure there. Now I'm going to ask you about next weekend. You're already seeing what you happened in this one. What will you do go to next weekend to really take shape and take form to really get this one in for you and a victory for your team?
Probably stay up front and stay out of the wrecks. Now we had quite a few wrecks of people trying to put their car where they shouldn't, and hopefully we can try and clean that up next week. But yeah, I'm just going to try and stay out of the wrecks and run up front.
Sure there. Is there anybody you want to thank here for this third place finish here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Ryan Sizemore for letting me be on his team. I'd like to thank Noah for painting my car and you for broadcasting.
Thanks for your time here, Brock Whitehead. Appreciate it, man, and congratulations once more on this illustrious finish for you and your team.
Yeah, thank you.
Brock Whitehead, ladies and gentlemen, representing well for Sizemore Motorsports here tonight. But let's make no bones about it here, folks. Blue Motorsports got represented extremely well here tonight. That's my long-lost cousin coming away second place here tonight. And Nick Shriver joins us in here. And Nick, man, I've been a part of some crazy finishes here at Daytona, and I've seen some wild stuff. But the fact that you even had the cojones to literally do the outside line and make this thing work and get to the race lead. And somehow, some way, Daniel just barely nudges you out. I feel like there's some kind of broadcaster curse I've given you. I think the Shriver name's been cursed, my friend.
No, it's not that bad. If it's the whole BMS crew, thanks to Noah, he put that one together. If it wasn't for them, that outside line would have never worked. They gave me that push to get me right out front before the caution came out.
Yes, sir.
And
Well, they
as far as
go ahead, man. Sorry.
as far as DJ on the end, I couldn't ask for a better battle trying to get that, finish.
For sure there. Now, I've got to ask you, man. You saw Daniel coming right to the line, coming to the end. We saw it from the flag stand. You two were literally neck and neck, and you two were going to put on a heck of a finish there. When he got you just by about that half a tire length there, I mean, I got to believe that probably made you really think a little bit more about what's going to happen next week, but knowing that you can control a little bit of that help and get some going on that outside to possibly make some runs on these guys, right?
We had debates in the Discord between all of us about whether or not these cars can run on the outside. I'm pretty sure we just proved that they could. So
I
I
think
know next week we'll have a good run.
I think you guys have more than just a good run coming, my friend. What a night it has been, and a wild one. I know I've accidentally kind of cut in between you with the interview, man. I do apologize for that. But, Nick, my friend, you literally are coming away second place here. And next week, I know you're going to be fired up and ready for this one. So who do you want to thank her for tonight, though?
We're gonna go with my wife for sitting here watching me all night, and Noah for putting together this whole team. I'm glad he brought me on, and my son for bringing me his toys during this race.
I think he just wanted to make sure you knew we were still racing and how to stay focused. So I think he was just being a little bit of a test for you there.
It just gives me a little bit more to work on while I'm driving around the track.
That's if you didn't need enough with these next gen cars. But Nick, really appreciate coming on board here, man. What a night and a finish. Congratulations, sir. Well honored and deserved to see you represent the Shriver name.
No problem. Thank you. Congrats, DJ.
From Blue Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, representing the number 5 tonight, Nick Shriver. And now, race fans, I think it's about that time and it's about that place. He is coming to us from victory lane. He's been so close so many times before, but now he puts this one in victory lane, takes it all the way home to the Clash at Daytona. Ladies and gentlemen, the 23 DJ Daniel. And DJ, unbelievable, sir. You had to get every ounce of that car and then some to make that last ditch pass, and at last you finally got yourself a Clash win at Daytona, my friend.
I don't know how I did it. I was 13th and drove back through the field somehow, luckily, even with those single file restarts.
You certainly did indeed. You had a lot going on. I know you really wanted to really bring it to the level and bring it to the new heights. And, you talked about it earlier. You were saying point blank, man, I was hoping this car could just do enough if on a runoff here. And obviously there were some talks about you guys when we heard about the outside line, if that was even going to work. I think there was some proven commodity there that it can work, and also you made it work at the end there with that finish. I mean, tell me, did you think at some point that maybe that was going to end up like what we saw in Heat 1 with the way that wrecked out?
I don't know. I didn't think it was going to work at first when I think it was Trey. He was leading it, and we jumped up there, and we all blocked it, and then it just went nowhere. It went back, and then somehow made it work out of 4. I just didn't want to go too early because at Daytona it's really easy to go too early or too late and then come up just short. Luckily, we came on the right side of the stage.
You certainly did indeed, and it all works out in your favor and gets yourself into victory lane here tonight. Daniel, my man, you are going to be the race winner and the Clash winner here, so I have to ask you, who do you want to thank here for this finish?
I got to thank everybody at BMS for the opportunity. My teammates, definitely got to thank the Whiteheads for helping me out this entire week. Got to thank my mom, dad, grandma, all the family, and we're here to stay.
Well, DJ, I think the best way to end it saying is congratulations, and next week, man, the season begins, and the Clash has certainly set you up for some greatness, sir. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here tonight, DJ Daniel in the number 23. And race fans, that's it. That's it. That's it. So, from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, big thank you for coming on board. We certainly hope to see you guys come back here with us throughout the week or next weekend. Thank you so much for everything. Until the green flag is flying high next time, be safe out there, and I'll catch you guys very, very soon.